The Shack is back. Greetings, Koopalings. My name is Donnie Reese, and I am joined here in the Nintendo Shack PSVG slice of Nintendo goodness every week by my girl, Caroline. What's up?
What's up?
Dude,
it's
What's
Yoshi
up?
Week. Yeah.
It is Yoshi Week. Did it sneak up on you?
It really did, just because
Kinda.
this month has been kind of a whirlwind with moving and stuff, and then all of a sudden we're at the end of March already, and I was like, oh yeah, that game comes out, doesn't it?
I is excited.
Me too.
I'm very excited. Reviews aren't so hot on it. They're not like awful, but they're not so great on it. Yeah, it's not reviewing well.
I've read okay reviews.
I didn't read them.
I can't see a Yoshi game doing poorly.
I didn't read them because I thought to myself, I can't fathom like needing to read a review about a Yoshi game.
Well,
like I'm good there.
I think it's just if you like Yoshi games, you're gonna like it. I'm pretty sure.
I think this is gonna be the best Yoshi game that's ever been made.
Probably.
That's my expectation. So we'll see if it holds up next week. Before we start the show, let us do a little update on our return to Hyrule visit. So I have pulled the Master Sword in my little quest of clearing out all the regions. That was the last thing I did. I'm in the Elden region, about to do that Divine Beast, and then I'll start working my way counterclockwise all the way around to the desert, and that'll complete my my shrine quest. I think I've got 70 shrines or so, something like that. I put a 1 in all of the columns in my Excel sheet so I could quickly count them, because then I could go Control Find 1 and it would count all of them. Yeah. So that's it. But to be honest with you, I've been on the podcast circuit. So we launched the Google Stadia show on the PSVG Podcast Network. Then we did Shack. Then I've got Xbox tomorrow, and I went on Games We Don't Play with Chalfie, who's in the chat. Hey, Chalfie.
Yeah, what's up, Chalfie?
So I'm living that guru life. I've been podcasting too much, not playing enough games. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to playing some more games after these next 2 days are over. Yeah,
tomorrow I'm recording Arcadia, and I just haven't been playing games. I've been watching Brian play. I play Breath of the Wild, like I've been doing the Hyrule thing on my own while I chill at the end of the day. I will not lie, I've been doing it while I'm in the bathtub, because number one, it's amazing to have a bathtub again. Number two, what a better place to do it than bringing your Switch into the bathroom. So I've been doing that. I've been watching Brian. Brian is hysterical because he has a comment about everything, literally everything. And I think we should definitely stream him doing some shenanigans, because
he's an opinionated guy.
He definitely does it to get under my skin, and he does a great job at it.
I could see that.
I am trying so hard not to backseat game with him.
And he knows that.
Oh, yes, he does. He's like, hey, look at this. Hey, look at me do this. It's like, Brian, I can strangle you in like 2 steps. I can get my hands around your neck.
You've given him the power. He knows. He knows how to get under your skin now.
Can't remember what he said last night, but it had me rolling, and I was telling people in Discord, and it was fun. Yeah, other than that, I haven't been playing much, so I guess you're the only one that's been playing things, so you can go ahead and go.
Yeah, I have, but before we do that, I want to get into some of these. So we had Paul Calicote actually phone in an audio clip, which is what we've been encouraging everybody to do with this return to Hyrule. A reminder, let us know how things are going. If you come across something you never saw before, if you have a new question, a new frustration, like Paul Calicote, let's just get to it.
What's up, PSVG Nintendo Shack? This is Paul Calico coming at you with a funny Return to Hyrule story. So, I was playing last night, and there is a Rito named Kaz, or Cass, however you want to say it, and he plays an accordion, right? And you have to do shrine quests for this fella. Well, I came to this shrine where Link had to get naked and wait for the red moon. So I stripped my boy down, and I'm hanging out listening to Kaz play his accordion, and I kind of dozed off, just like chilling, listening to that guy play his little accordion tune. But now that tune is haunting me. Yeah. Anyway, I just thought it was a funny story. Else time.
So, Caroline, I have to ask you, have you, like Paul, ever fallen asleep playing Zelda?
I don't think I fell asleep, but here's the thing. The night that we got the game 2 years ago, I did take it into my bedroom, and I was lying in bed playing it at probably like 4 a.m, and I couldn't put it down. I was just like, this thing's portable, sure. I think I waited until the battery decided to run out on me before I actually stopped playing it, and then I just put the Switch underneath my pillow next to me, and that's my only experience with sleeping when I'm playing Zelda. So,
are you haunted by Cass's theme?
Dude, that theme is boss.
It's really good.
There's a cover that has been done by Rosen on Materia Collective. If you guys haven't looked at that, it's phenomenal. And he does this incredible 12-string guitar version of the song. It's so good. So good.
So, thanks, Paul, PSVG superfan. Paul's been here since the beginning. The beginning.
Yeah.
Episode 1, the beginning we don't even really claim anymore. PSVG really began at 13. That's the episode we claim, because the first dozen are just not so hot. It took a minute to get going. But yeah, so thank you very much for sending them in. And like I said, all of you Shackers out there, send them in. Send them our way. If you've got them, I would love to keep doing the audio stuff. But if you don't have the audio, if you just want to send them to me via text, you can do that, or Discord, or on Twitter, like Sir Nick. He says, all right, so here's your Breath of the Wild story for today. I'm trying to take a picture of a butterfly for my compendium. All of a sudden, I hear this noise. But I got to get this picture because this thing keeps getting away from me. Finally, I get the picture. I get the perfect picture. I go out of camera mode, swing the camera around just in time to see a gigantic Hinox. Yes, I know, they're all gigantic. Lambaste me with a boulder. But I got my butterfly picture.
Yay! Let me tell you, those butterflies and the dragonflies are ridiculously hard. I think the dragonflies are a little bit harder than the butterflies, because the butterflies will come to a rest at some point. I'm always trying to better my pictures for my compendium. I'm always taking pictures of things anyway. It's just I wonder if that one looks better than the one that I've already gotten.
Did you? So I'm assuming you did the compendium?
I haven't completed it. I can't figure out what I'm missing. I'm missing a couple weapons, and I got to figure out which ones I'm missing.
That sounds like so you.
Yeah, I want to complete it.
I don't think I've touched anything in the compendium.
I think I'm almost to 600 Korok seeds, so we're doing better.
That's good.
Last time we talked, I think I was just over the halfway mark.
I took the picture to unlock it, and that's it. I've never taken a picture again.
Alrighty then.
Outside of shrine quests that make me have to do it.
You don't like taking the dirt pictures of Link where he's like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah,
Oh, no, those are fun.
Not for me. Not for me.
Okay.
We have a question on our Return to Hyrule update by Brother Lucas over there from Flex to Pose. He goes, if you could choose one village, town, or location in Breath of the Wild to plop down your very own Nintendo Shack and live out your days, where would it be and why?
I like Kakariko and I like Hateno both, but I think the Gerudo town is definitely where it's at. I think that's my safe haven. I love going there. I love going there just because the music's great. It's warm in the day, and then at nighttime it gets cool, so you don't even have to adjust the air conditioning or anything. We always turn the air down at night, and I like warm weather, so I think it would be pretty good. And girls only.
I am girls only. You say you don't like girls.
I don't, but these women are Amazonian. Are
Hypocrite.
You kidding me?
Calling BS. I would be somewhere kind of out there in what I would call the rural part of the Akala region.
Akala's pretty too. I
love that region. I have since, I believe I mentioned it on our first podcast about Breath of the Wild. The first time I ever found my way there, I was I want to go to here. Mm-hmm. This is my place. These are my peeps. It's just this beautiful rolling hills of grass that's flowing, and it's always fall. And the leaves are always there, and it's just kind of windy, and it just looks perfect. It's perfect for me.
Akala is definitely my favorite region.
Anything south of the stable, but west of Terrytown. So I would live outside Terrytown, and then I would go in for supplies and then come back out. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Or east of Tarrytown, I guess. Knowing when compass direction's correct.
Towards the Tingle Islands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucas says he always liked the Japanese influence architecture in Kakariko Village. So I'm presuming that's why you like it.
Yeah, I do. I like the theme.
It's just like small. It's a small little, little town.
Yeah, but the Sheikah are all dying out.
It's true. It's the other thing. It's really country over there.
Was this just to Breath of the Wild, or was it like for any Zelda game?
Oh, I think it was Breath of the Wild. Yeah, just Breath of the Wild. But I will take options for other Zelda games. You should know. Everybody should know where I would lay down my roots. It's the hidden town in Twilight Princess that has all of the cats. Yeah, that's true.
That's true. That's my town. I'm gonna live with the little old lady, the last Sheikah, and all the cats are gonna be mine.
So if I could pick any game, I would pick one of those. Oh man, it's gonna kill me that I don't know off the top of my head. Those little islands in Wind Waker that have like the goddess statues on them.
Yeah.
Right.
The little Triforce ones.
But they have all like the wildflowers that grow on them and all that. That I'd plop down somewhere out there.
I think they're just called the Goddess Isles.
That's what I was gonna say, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
That sounds right. So anyway,
you don't want to go to the cabana? You get your cabana deed and hang out in the cabana?
I thought about saying something like Dragon Roost, but the island's kind of boring. It's just the song is really awesome. Plus, it's got this giant dragon and all that. I can't be doing all that.
Yeah.
So next week, Seth is going to come Shaq. He just picked up Breath of the Wild.
Awesome.
He's playing it again. So our infection continues to spread. The Shaq-fection.
Next week, we're going to be talking about Yoshi.
We are going to be talking about Yoshi, and he's really excited about Yoshi too. So it'll be good that he can talk about that. But yeah, I'm really excited. One thing I noticed this week, because I've been so busy, like Breath of the Wild is not a game that I want to play in like short bursts. Like if I can't play Breath of the Wild for like 2 hours, I'm not interested. So like when I get short on time, it's like I don't even want to play this game right now.
That's why I sit in the tub and play it. Like, and when my bathwater gets cold, I feel like I've played enough, and it's time to get out. It's time to be done.
Man, I don't think I could do that. I want to play it in like long runs. I remember that the first time we played it, and granted, I took 2 weeks off. Like I planned a vacation around the Switch launch, but even then, even like on the weekends and stuff when I wasn't supposed to be at work, I still played this game in 5, 6, 7 hour chunks. I really like that. Like I kind of have like a whole routine. Like I set up like a little table, I get a little drink, I get like my laptop so I can open up my map. Like I'm big on that second screen experience, and like, yeah, it's just kind of what I want to do. I plan to play Zelda and I get lost in it. I don't want to play it for like an hour. I can't play it before I go to work or before I go to bed or anything like that, because I'll find another shrine and I'll find another shrine and I'll find something else and something else. Like I can't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got our Return to Hyrule update out of the way, and I only say that because we really haven't talked about anything else for like 3 weeks. So we haven't talked about anything that we've been playing, and we haven't really touched on a whole lot of news, and we've got a lot.
We should do the Nindies. We should do the Nindies. Don't you remember?
We did do that, and then that show was extra long because of it. Because we basically just took 2 shows and put them together. So I've been playing some other games. Most notably, I played Crypt of the Necrodancer. I played it on PlayStation Vita because it was on sale last week for like $3.
Super cheap.
$3. Why wasn't it on sale on Switch? All those other games were on sale on Switch.
I think they're going to have a sale for it eventually.
Oh, of course, they'll eventually have one, but why not have it when you announce the other one?
I know.
Everybody on my Twitter was like, I want to play this. Like, where's it at? And it was $20. And then PlayStation is like, come play it over here for $3.
Yep.
That was a misstep. Bad mistake, Nintendo.
On Sony's side.
All right, so here's the deal. I played it on my Vita for like 2 hours. Then I downloaded it and played on my PlayStation 4 for about an hour. They have crossplay, so I played it for free. I played 3 hours of Crypt of the Necrodancer. I got out of Zone 1, I believe is what they call it, and I was into Zone 2, and I did the tutorial, and I did a little shop area. I am not going to be buying Cadence of Hyrule.
Aww.
Just not interested. I'd be very interested for you to play Crypt of the Necrodancer too. I think you'll like it. Knowing you, I think you'll like it. I think you're going to try to learn to like anything that has Zelda on it.
Duh.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm
That's
not.
how I was with Hyrule Warriors. I'd never played a Warriors game before, but now,
but that's fun.
Hack and slash is one of my favorite genres now.
Crypt of the Necrodancer is good. It is really good. I'll give you that. There were brief moments where I kind of got into a flow, And I was like, oh, I kind of see what's going on here. It's got this, all of your movements, basically every command you can give the character is set to the beat.
Yeah.
So if you want to move, you got to move with the beat. If you want to swing a sword, you got to move with the beat. Like, all of that is with the beat. And you just do this dungeon crawling, and you die, and then the dungeon remixes itself, and you go back and you keep trying. And I did that, and, you know, you smash through the walls, and giant bull comes out of nowhere. You smash through the walls, and this giant monster comes out of the dragon. You know, like, you get chased by this stuff. It's kind of hard, to be quite honest with you, if I could.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it was challenging and hard.
It was.
To get.
And I looked up a couple of wikis, because for a while I felt like I just wasn't getting it. And it's just kind of like that rogue gameplay where, you know, it's just like wash, rinse, repeat, and relearn. You know, like, you got to learn it. So it's not something that I think is going to be for most people. But for those people, like, it's a quality game. I'll give it that. It's really good. Did you read any of the story as to why, like, Cadence of Hyrule is coming? Mm-mm. So Imran Khan, who's the Game Informer editor, right? Game Informer or GameStop?
I thought he was Game Informer.
I think it's Game Informer, but if I'm wrong, I apologize. He was at GDC, and he was on a podcast I was listening to. It was a live podcast. And he said, basically the story, how this goes, is that Eiji Aonuma and Miyamoto are addicted to Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Are they really?
That they love this game so much that they basically told, I would say, some peon at Nintendo, like, go find these people. We need to meet these people. Like, they love this game.
Some high praise.
Yeah, man. Miyamoto loves this game. Like, this is his junk. So he is all into it. So that's why it's happening. I hope it's great. I think it will be. The music will be good for sure. And for those that like, I guess, old Zeldas and the dungeon aspect, that's probably like my least favorite thing about Zelda, actually, is maybe the dungeons. Of all the elements of a Zelda game, like, if you were to pick your least favorite, it's not to say I don't like them, I'm just saying your least favorite. What would be your least favorite thing to do in a Zelda game?
Encounter scary monsters.
Well, I could say that happens in dungeons. No, the dungeoning would be some of my part.
Re-deads in the market in Ocarina of Time. Like, you know, that's a problem.
Oh, that was great. I never forget coming out of that temple when as an adult when everything was destroyed. Oh, that was amazing.
No, it was not.
It was so good.
I was 8 years old and I was traumatized, right? So I come out of
this place is destroyed.
I come out there and I think that they're petrified villagers because, like, I think you go up to them and you're supposed to unpetrify them or something. And no, I got the life sucked out of me. Put the game down for 2 weeks. The dungeon parts are probably my least favorite. It's not to say I don't like them. There's definitely some that I really like, but just like... You like the exploration more.
I really do. I like the adventuring. I like the exploration. Some dungeons are... I think that's why I love the shrines. I think that's why Breath of the Wild is like such a big deal to me. I really like the shrines because they're bite-sized pieces. It's when the dungeons become like this labyrinth, this long thing. It takes 10 hours to beat one. That's where I'm just like... I get to the point where I'm like, I want to get out of here.
I love puzzles, and I feel like the dungeons are huge puzzles that you have to do. Now, oddly enough, I was not a fan of the beasts in Breath of the Wild. Like, I felt like that was too complex. There were pieces that if you didn't turn it a certain way, you missed something, or if you turned something backwards, it undid what you did previously, and it was a hot mess.
I think everything should be bite-sized. Respectively, not like it doesn't have to be shrine small, but like Wind Waker, I think that's maybe one reason why I really love Wind Waker. Nothing got too
everything was pretty
long in the tooth.
One island had a puzzle to it.
Yep, but there was a lot of them, and you're actually right. Yeah. My two favorite Zelda games are Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild, and they do share that in common. That probably has a lot to do with the reason why I like them both. So anyway. I don't want to talk bad about the game. I think it's really cool. It's a cool game, and it's definitely like a fresh take. So I can understand why they're really excited about it, and I'm proud that they're loaning out some. Actually, that was a question we got last week that I didn't write down. One of the questions we got was, now that Nintendo has shown the aptitude to hand out its IP to an indie game, what's an indie game studio or game that you would like to apply the Nintendo IP to?
Oh my god.
Do you want me to give you a minute to think? Because I have mine.
That would be, go ahead.
Because I didn't write it, and you actually already know this because I told you and Guru this a while ago when we were talking about Nintendo buying a third party, and they should buy Overcooked. And if it were me, I would take Overcooked and I would make it an Animal Crossing game. And I would fill it with Animal Crossing characters, and I would let you like serve coffee and do all these kinds of different things and bake cakes and do all these. I would just kind of make it like, think of like Happy Home Designer, you know, but like you could decorate a house, you could move furniture, you could cook meals, you could serve coffee, but just take all of the little things you can do in Animal Crossing, give it some wacky overcooked elements with Animal Crossing IP, and I think it'd be fun. You could like garden a garden, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All timed. You know what? That's something that I'll have to probably answer on Twitter because there's a lot going through my mind right now and I just can't exactly.
I didn't write it down, so I feel bad that I sprung it on you.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's fine. I think that's an interesting. Off the top of my head, of course, you know how I like farming and stuff. So I guess maybe give it to Concerned Ape or Chucklefish, who've done Stardew Valley, and maybe give them the rights to something to make a Nintendo farming style game.
Yep.
Who knows?
Yep.
That'd be fun.
Caroline, I've been playing this game called Rico.
I've heard of Rico.
Rico's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So Rico's pretty cool. It's $20, which I gotta admit feels a little steep, just a little steep, because it doesn't run like super well. I've lost a save. It's frozen on me.
Ooh.
I've completed a mission and like come back to the main screen and then tried to advance forward and I couldn't go. Then I lost, and then I didn't just lose the progress of the mission. It said I failed the mission. I had to reboot.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's, you know, it just feels like it's a little undercooked, which is okay. It's a budget game. Like, I'm not willing to just kill it because the game does play well. It's a first-person shooter, and it's a mature first-person shooter. So you're a human shooting the snot out of other humans. So if you're not into any of that, like, it's a lot of that. But it's not like overly gory or anything like that. It's somewhat cartoonish. It's like a GTA 3, GTA San Andreas like look type style.
Yeah.
It's a rogue game, which is not one that I'm typically fond of. Remember I was telling you, like, the whole, you know, procedurally generated stuff isn't really for me. It's not like what I like to do.
Right.
With the exception with this game, so like my only experience with the procedurally generated stuff is like dungeon crawling, right? Like Dead Cells, where you got to get to the end, or like Necrodancer, you got to get to the end, but every time you die, the entire thing mixes itself. You got to find your way through again. I don't like that because I feel like I'm constantly lost. Like, that's the feeling that I get when I play those games. I'm like, I have no idea where I'm going because it's not like anything that I've seen before. This game completely mixes around all the hallways and the rooms, but it really doesn't matter because you're not trying to get anywhere. What you're doing is you bust into a room and shoot everybody in the room, and your objective is to clear clear a certain amount of rooms and confiscate a certain amount of money and drugs. So it really doesn't matter which direction you go. So it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
You go left, right, up, or down. As long as you go through all the rooms, it really doesn't matter. So you just start walking one direction and you figure it out. It is really, it's fun. So you kick down a door, boom, you get bullet time, max pain bullet time. Everything freezes, slow motion. You come in, you hit people with your nightstick, you shoot this guy over here, you set off the bomb over there, you shoot these other guys, and then fast motion comes back. Hopefully you killed them all. If you didn't, they start shooting you back. And you got to clear the room. And you collect all the money, you collect all the stuff. You do that 9 or 10 times, and then you get everything you need, and then you have to fight your way back out. You know, you get this little prompt on the screen, reinforcements are coming. And now you got to go all the way back to the entrance, and all these dudes are popping out, you know, from every other way. And then essentially, all you do is you go through the loop, you get all the stuff, you complete the level, and then you earn money. You use that money to buy better weapons to cause more chaos in the next one, and you do keep doing that.
Definitely sounds like a GTA game.
Well, it's all first person, and it's like very small. It's not like an open world adventure game. I was specifically referring to like the look and feel. It looks like you're playing first person, like GTA San Andreas.
I'm
you know,
just
it's
talking about
polygonal people. Like, it's not a look or anything like that. It's just a very fun, repetitive shooter. Okay. You know, if you like shooting games, you do a lot of shooting stuff. You blow up stuff, hit people with bats.
Not a person, but
you know,
that's probably why I haven't played it.
The story is corny as can be. Like, these drug people have overthrown, and you're like a rogue cop. You're going to go back and take it back. Take justice into your own hands. It's got some, like I said, it does allow for motion controls, which I like. I like gyro aiming, because the stick aiming doesn't feel good. I tried messing with it. It just doesn't feel tight, like a shooter like I would expect it to be. But it's an interesting little thing for $20. If it goes on sale, I would say I'd highly recommend it at any sale price. If you can get this thing at $15 and lower, if you like shooters, because there's not a ton of them on the Switch, it's pretty good. And it's got online multiplayer.
I have to look at the graphics, because when you said polygonal, I think I definitely have seen this game before.
you play online multiplayer co-op with friends, so you can like time and set up your own little. You can bust into 2 rooms at once, or bust into the same room from 2 different angles, and so you can do all that too. It's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. It's neat. I put on here that I'm playing card game. So I put in a bunch of let's see here. The Card. It's called The Card. Just like the golf, it's The Card. Texas Hold'em, Blackjack, Page 1, and Poker is what it's called.
Okay.
It was on sale last week. I've recently just bought a bunch of indie games because I've got a bunch of credit. And it was on sale for $1.50 I paid. If you like card games, it's fun. You play poker and blackjack. Like, it's pretty decent. You unlock skins for cards and stuff. And yeah, I waste time on it.
I want classic Minesweeper, Solitaire, Pinball. Just like the old Windows games that we used to have.
Yeah. I might play Solitaire. I'm sure there is a Solitaire, but it's not the Windows Solitaire. But I'm sure there is a Solitaire on the Switch if you went looking for it. But yeah, I've been playing that maybe 5 or 6 hours so. So Jack and I like playing cards. Jack's kind of a degenerate gambler for his age. He likes playing blackjack. We have like a whole table and chips and everything. He likes playing blackjack. He likes playing poker with Dad. So he really likes this game. And it's just like a fun...
Teaching your child how to gamble at age 10?
Yep. And it's fun. Like, it's fast. You know why I tell you that? For $1.50, it's fast. You get in and out of the game really quick. Every game lasts a minute. So it's just a time waster. And then I've been playing Captain Toad. I've been playing the DLC. I
still gotta buy it.
So there's like 25 levels in there. I'm through like 10 of them. There's a slew of other pages that I haven't got to yet. I'm sure once you get through them all, I'm sure there's like a bonus one I don't know about yet. And all the collectibles in all of them. But, it's more Captain Toad. I can't like say anything amazing about it. It's more Captain Toad. It's been a while since I played it on Wii U, but the old one's still like they had the crown levels, right, where you had to get the crowns in order under a timeline.
Right.
So they've got a lot. I've already played a few of those, like early on in the first 7 levels. I think 3 or 4 of those, which are fun.
What was the difference between the Switch and the Wii U version? Were they replaced with Odyssey levels from the 3D world levels?
The Switch.
Is that what that was?
Yes, the Switch does have some Odyssey levels.
Okay.
Which I never went back and played through like the main campaign, but
I own it on Wii U. I just, it was like I'm throwing it on my shelf, and I haven't played it. It's a backlog game.
It's good. I really like it. But sorry, Shelf, I do have Ape Out, and I bought West of Loathing, and I bought Gum and Clive, and I bought it. Like I said, I bought a bunch of them. I just haven't got to them yet. So as we move on past Breath of the Wild, I'll start pushing through those, and then other things are coming out in April in addition to Yoshi and all that. We'll start coming through those. But Ape Out's getting great reviews. It's got all those jazz drums. Have you seen any of Ape Out?
Yeah. Yep.
So I didn't want to buy Ape Out. It was really Super Nintendad Chris Becker who got me into it because he's telling me it's one of his favorite games of the year. I needed to hear from somebody that much praise for me to buy it because I watched a walkthrough of it or a gameplay. Mm-hmm. And it just sounded like a mess. Like literally the sound was just constant like cymbals crashing over. I was like, I don't want to play that.
Yeah,
that sounds annoying.
It's just it's one of those things that I've got so many other indies on my radar right now, and that would probably be something like you said. Somebody would have to convince me.
Jack loves it.
Get it.
It's kind of like he's playing it. Huh? I've watched him play. Yeah, he really likes it. It's kind of like Hotline Miami, kind of.
Okay.
So, but we'll see. We'll see how much the drums bother me when I get to it. But yeah. I like it.
Boom, boom, boom.
I think that's it. Let me look through here. I've been playing more of that football game, man. I'm telling you, that Football Heroes Turbo is great. It's going to be, when we do our game of the year, Switch, at the end of the year, it's going to be on my list, man. People are sleeping on this game.
I thought it came out late last year.
I don't know, but I still play it. It's still fun. Okay. And I played Runner 3 in the past week. So that easy update came out. So now you can customize the difficulty in every individual level, so you can really kind of ramp it up as much as you want. So I'm playing on the exact same difficulty as before. I just increased the checkpoints. So I went back.
Runner is just like Runner. I tried to get into with Runner 2.
Runner 2 is amazing. It's so good.
I don't know. I just can't get into it.
Maybe you'll get into Cadence of Hyrule and I won't. But yeah, I came here with the bad news to tell you that I don't like that game. It's not what I think of in terms of fun Donna game.
I don't know, just hearing that Miyamoto and Aonuma were like...
That makes you want to like it more, don't you?
Hell yeah.
You're going to be like, see? We're in this together, guys. Yeah, that was a really cool story.
I like what Miyamoto-san likes.
He didn't just say they liked it. He said they're obsessed with this game. It's like their favorite game. Like they played like 100 hours of it. Like they're playing a ton of it. So.
And isn't it like an indie company that's based out of America or
I think so, yeah.
Europe or what?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I think so. That sounds right. I want a picture of like
that's insane to me. That,
Miyamoto with a Vita.
No. You know he played it on Switch. They probably, when it got to Switch, they probably started playing it, and they probably lost their minds.
So, you're just playing Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, what I've been playing, Brian's been playing it. He's playing it right now. So
You've been playing Home Tetris? House moving game?
Oh my god. It's just, I got paint chips today, and I've been going through paint chips, and I've been budgeting for furniture. It's just a never-ending deal.
Okay, so let's open up the news block, which we really haven't done in a while. And this is a good week because the rumor mill is churning.
It is.
Big news, Caroline.
It's like 1 month after Direct, and people start like, okay, what's going on now?
What's coming on next? 2 hardware revisions are coming this year. The Wall Street Journal took to the internet on Monday morning, citing sources with both prototypes in manufacturing and dev kits in game development in hand that 2 Switch revisions are coming. So we've been hearing about this Switch revision for a while. And it was always kind of like, what would they do? Would they go, like Switch cheap or like Switch Pro? Apparently they're going to do both. So the Wall Street Journal reported, which has been since backed up by Eurogamer with independent sources, that we will be getting a portable model. It's being aimed at kid-proofing the Switch. It'll be a cheaper model that will eliminate some features, and the one that they named, most notably, was HD Rumble. And it's aimed at migrating existing 3DS users over to the new platform. Now, it's been speculated quite a bit that in addition to HD Rumble, that this might eliminate the removable Joy-Con from the unit itself. It might be a built-in Switch.
I think if you have kid-proofing, you have to. It's like those things can come off pretty easily. Brian complains about how every time he goes to put it in the dock, that they kind of slide off a little bit. I think you have to go the brick route. You have to do like a 2DS and make everything one long thing. I think that's just how it has to be.
So it'd be Vita-like, Switch Vita. Built-in screen, built-in controls, all that.
Yeah, you could still dock it and then play with separate Joy-Cons or something.
That's a good question. So we'll just stay here. We'll talk about the portable one. Okay. All right. Other features that everybody talked about is that it would be portable only.
No, I can't see that. It's not a Switch if you can't portable and back and forth between TV. I think it still has the capability to plug into a dock.
So
they might not sell it with a dock.
Right. So they sell it as a portable machine that maybe you can... So here's the question. If they make it smaller, do you want something like not the Switch's size fitting in a current Switch dock? I don't think so. So my thing is, I think I'm with you. I think you're right. I think they would sell a portable only unit, but I'm thinking they're coming out with an accessory for the portable machine. Maybe it's like a little dongle, maybe it's a cord, maybe it's a cable, but they'll come out with something else you can buy that isn't the Nintendo Switch dock for the portable. So let's call it, I don't know, for lack of a better term, let's call it Switch Mini. Here's the Switch Mini docking cable. Because I think they want it to be...
kind of little adapter, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they want it to be like on the go. Like that's the whole point. Or like a different dock, or a dock without the big front faceplate, like kind of like the docks that we have, like something like that. They come out with a separate dock for it, which is not unheard of. All the different 3DS models have their own docks. I've got the little dock. There's a 3DS dock. Like there's all kinds of charging docks and different things for all that different stuff. It's very interesting.
I do think that the Joy-Cons have to go out the window, though. I think it just has to be one single unit for children.
I agree. When I first heard this, I was like, there's no way they're going to remove the Joy-Cons because there are games that require the Joy-Con. You couldn't play Super Mario Party without Joy-Con. But you could still use a Joy-Con with the Switch Mini. You would just have to use a separate Joy-Con as a controller. That's the weird thing. You just couldn't play it natively on the screen by itself. You'd have to then... prop it up and get a Joy-Con.
As long as it's docked or plugged into that accessory that it knows that it's feeding from that and can go to the TV, then it won't register the sides as being the active controllers. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But again, you still need a Joy-Con. Like if you wanted to play Super Mario Party on this...
Maybe they sell the thing as one unit and a set of Joy-Cons with it.
Well, maybe. I don't think so. I think so. The whole idea for this thing is the whole point of it is to make it as cheap as possible. So you wouldn't throw in an extra controller, you wouldn't throw in a dock, you wouldn't throw in a cable, you wouldn't throw in a Joy-Con. You're trying to get this thing as cheap as possible. That's why the whole point of it, one mold, it's all built in together. It just comes as the system. It's like a portable system. I want to say that I believe you. I'm with you. I'm on Team Caro on the it can't dock. But if the rumor I do believe the rumor. So Benji, I believe it's coming. If it didn't dock and couldn't dock, I wouldn't be surprised. I know it sounds crazy because it's called the Switch, but the 3DS was called the 3DS too. You know, and they ripped the 3D right out of it and they called it a 2DS. Like, so they could come up with something else and it plays Switch games and, I don't know. But yeah. There's
switch off.
Switch off. So you do run into you do run into some software issues if you don't allow for, Joy-Cons to detach, or at least you have to require a Joy-Con to play some games. They may have to reprint some box art that says Joy-Con required. Like the SD card required thing. They may come out with something that says Joy-Con required to play this game. So, like, you can't play 1-2 Switch on a system like that. And that's the other thing I was thinking about. Think of how, because yes, the Switch concept is that you can take it wherever you want to go. Like, that's the system concept. But how many games showcase and prompt you, like, in software to split the Joy-Cons and play with a friend? There's so many games that I've played that's like, you can play 2-player, and they show you, like, they turn the Joy-Con sideways.
Who was it that said in Nintendo of Japan that they wanted this to be, they wanted one person per house, or one person period to own a Switch. Yep. So, like, this is how you
do it.
Keepify it.
It's just like 3DS. Just like 3DS. Yeah. And it makes sense because Animal Crossing and Pokemon, the two best portable games that you can sell to portable game players, are on the horizon. Yep. So, yeah, you want to get these out, and guess what you want to do? You want an Animal Crossing special version, and you want a Pokemon special version.
Please don't.
You want a special version of both.
I can't.
Because in addition to selling to new customers, you also want to sell to Caroline. You want to make her buy another one. You want to make existing Switch owners buy another one. Because I think Eurogamer did a really good detail of this. Like a lot of the market analysts are starting to wonder about a decline in sales for Switch hardware as we ramp through 2019 because of the impending releases of these other consoles. So I agree with that. I know the software lineup is great and wonderful, but anytime that there's like a new generation on the horizon, history shows that like buyers tend to hold on to their money. Like they want to, they don't they don't feel like an informed purchase decision. So it's interesting that Nintendo's going to launch both of these. So let's go ahead and get to the Pro model that they said this would have enhanced features for avid gamers. And the Wall Street Journal said, don't expect anything like the Xbox One X or the PS4 Pro in terms of power, which I think is a throwaway, like, duh.
Obvious.
It's a tablet. If you could have an Xbox One X and a tablet, that's what Xbox would be. Nintendo wouldn't have been the first people to come up with that.
Yeah.
I
think 1080p. 1080p. 60 FPS. Is that asking too much for a tablet?
So I've got a lot of things I want to say, but before I do, I want to touch back to this thing. I think it's interesting that they're releasing both models now. So I believe there's logic behind it, but I necessarily wouldn't agree with it. I think it's too early for a Pro model. I kind of think it's too early for a revision at all, but if we're going to do a revision, I understand the cheaper model because the Switch is still expensive. Was it $299?
Yeah, it's still $299.
Right. So it's still expensive for most people. So I understand the cheaper model. The Pro model, it feels early. And it makes me wonder if like this entire cycle, this generation cycle is going to be short. Because they're going to release a Pro model now, and then Xbox and PlayStation 4 goes in a year or two, and all of a sudden you're going to feel like a gen and a half behind. Like a full gen and a half behind. Right now we kind of feel like a half gen behind. Now we're going to feel like a full gen and a half behind here in like 18 months.
Yeah.
And they've already played their Pro card, which makes me think that, 2.5, 3 years from now, we're going to get Switch 2. Like, maybe the Switch life cycle isn't going to be that long. Or maybe it is like the mobile plan, where it's just going to keep iterating every 2.5 years. We get a new iteration.
I think I see that happening more than anything.
So
I think it's going to be like the 3DS, where the 3DS had a 7-year run, and it just kept getting new Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, but it only got the one. It only got the one. In terms of
No,
a
but I
power
mean,
upgrade, it only got the one boost.
Power upgrade, yes. But I think with this, even though space is an issue, I feel we have room for more improvement with a tablet. You know what I'm saying?
So
there's
I
a
agree.
processor in there, and the processor is definitely going to be better than something you would put in a little bitty 3DS.
That's true. I agree with you there. Like, because it is kind of a mobile device, they do have that, at least that excuse to say, hey, you buy a new cell phone every year. Like, why can't you buy a Switch every 3 years? Like, that's an excuse you can make. I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting because it does make me wonder, like, are we going to see a more improved Switch in 2.5 years from this one? Mm-hmm. Because, like, they've got to do something. They've got to answer the next Xbox. They can't. Yeah. You can't sit on Switch power levels when the next Xbox comes. I don't think that's going to be a good plan. Maybe streaming is the plan. Streaming could be the plan. Maybe streaming is the plan. I don't know. But getting back to the Pro. So I've been doing some digging. I've been doing some homework. Okay. So I had all these notes that I don't have pulled up right now, so I'm just going to try to wing it from memory. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to butcher this a little bit. So when the Switch was unveiled or announced or leaked, right, we had all these rumors because we knew that NVIDIA's Shield used the Tegra X1, which was called the Maxwell processor. Mm-hmm. But we also knew that at the time there was a new Tegra, the Tegra X2 chip, which was called the Pascal processor. Now, of course, Nintendo being the company that they are, they went with the old tech, the one that NVIDIA used. Right. The Maxwell chip, the X1 that is in Switch, is so old. I mean, it's like 5 or 6 years old. It's so outdated that even NVIDIA doesn't use it anymore.
Oh.
So, and this is the part I'm going to butcher. The X2 chip moved from some old way of doing, I don't know, building the chip, right? It's called like 20 nanometers or whatever, to 16 nanometer thin frets, right?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right. I'm trying to educate some folks. So this whole FinFET thing that they went to is a huge efficiency boost. Like, this was a huge deal. So apparently what FinFET is like, it's a fin, so like dorsal fin, right? Think of it on a microscopic, like, computer chip level, and it channels power so you don't lose any. So there's no leakage. All right. So when the Switch was unveiled, for those that have been with Nintendo Shack since the beginning, when the Switch was leaked and we were talking about all these rumors about the chips, we always ruled out the idea that they could use the Pascal, the X2, because the X2 was not in any gaming stuff. At the time, it was created and adapted for like car AI automotive systems. So it like runs like self-driving cars and stuff. It's like a huge, much bigger thing than graphics.
Yeah.
However, 8 months ago, it was put into, I do have to look this up, the Magic Leap, which is a new VR AR headset that's like a big deal that Comcast or AT&T is building. I don't know. It's a thing. So they're selling these new things. So it's being adapted to video games.
Purposes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So Digital Foundry did a video a year ago basically saying, here's what you could expect should Nintendo ever go down the route of putting the X2 in a Switch. Because here's the good thing about this. I don't know if this is going to happen. Before I even tell you about the X2, I don't know if this is going to happen, because here's what I know. The X1 chip that's currently in the Switch is underclocked. So they could just upclock it a bit and boost it up. Like, they could give you, better battery, better RAM, and an overclocked chip, and just call it that. That would be like your new 3DS boost. It'd be very minor, but it would be a boost. If they drop in the X2 chip, it will run games better. It will give you better battery out of the box. No developers will have to do a thing. It's just a better chip. It runs faster. It's more efficient.
Right.
So, like, Doom on Switch that runs 720p 30 would probably be able to go 720p 60 portably right out of the box. And then if the developer wanted to get into the code and mess with and update a patch, maybe they could get to 900p or 1080.
Okay.
But it is an incremental boost. And that's ultimately what I'm trying to say is even if they go to the X2, the boost would be small. And what I mean by small is games that currently can't run on Switch are probably not worth trying to port to Switch.
Right.
That doesn't change that. We're still in the same boat we're in now, where the Switch has a cap on the type of games that I think it can do.
True.
You know? So, yeah, the X2 comes, you get better battery life, better graphics right out of the gate, probably load a lot faster, which, if you've been following any of the hands-on impressions of Cuphead at GDC, the load times are egregious.
Yeah.
3 and 4 times longer than they were on X, and they were long on X. I was playing on X, I was like, Jesus, this game takes a long time to load. So I don't know.
I noticed that too.
You're going to think your game froze. You might restart your Switch if they don't get that lowered. So the X2 would drastically lower that. It would, because it's faster. It's just faster. It has a much faster bandwidth, better efficiency right out of the box. So
I don't know if they just put that into one model, though. Because they're not going to be doing it for going down scale.
There's a really good and so I don't know what they're going to do. Obviously, nobody does, but the X2 sounds expensive for Nintendo's taste. One of the things that I did discover, I should have mentioned this earlier though, is that their old chip, the X1, apparently like they're only being made for Switch, and everybody else is using the other ones. So really? Nintendo could probably save cost or equate costs by moving to the chips that are already being made elsewhere versus having the chips just made for them. Yeah, apparently nobody else uses the X1s anymore. Like they're that outdated. Nobody's using them anymore.
Wow.
So they're being manufactured basically just for Nintendo. So moving to the X2 could maybe, I'm speculating here, but maybe could, save them some money. But I don't think they would put it in the portable model because they're trying to lower the cost, not raise them.
Oh, no, of course.
I think the Pro model they could, but it is the interesting part of what you just brought up was, do we have 3 models or does the Pro model replace the current model we have? Like, does the model we have just kind of sell out and go away? Or do they try to run 3 models?
I don't think that's a good idea.
So then the other part is, do they do like a price cut? Do you get a portable model at $199, the current Switch at $250, and the Pro model at $300, or do you do the Pro model at $400?
Didn't we have regular 3DS, 3DS XL, and 2DS at the same time?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then why can't that be the same for this?
I'm with you.
I think that's how it will go. Because I think if you're talking about a Pro is going to be at least $349.99, at least maybe $399.99.
Knowing Nintendo, I think it'd be better bet on $399, which is a lot.
And then I think a cheap model is probably going to go the way of $199.
The other option that Digital Foundry speculated on is if the X2 doesn't do it for them and the X1 doesn't do it for it, they could work with NVIDIA on a custom chip, which is what they did for like Wii U. Okay. It sounds expensive. Like, right, they are buying their chip right out of the box, like off the shelf. So they're getting it as cheap as possible. I don't know if this Nintendo is going custom chip route, but or at least on this piece of hardware. It just seems very anti everything they did for it, right? They built all these components and everything to make it to make it cheap. Like, why would they now go custom chip? That seems weird. But
it's baffling to me. Like, I just think that it's not anything that we think it is, and it's just going to be Nintendo is going to do bare bones what they always do.
So the other rumors that this had is, don't think of it like the Switch now. That's something else that Eurogamer said, is these models are going to look drastically different than the Switch That's interesting, right?
I feel like if it's a Pro, people on I feel they want to play it on their TVs, or they want to hook it up to their computers and play.
They just said visually the systems are going to look very different.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like they're going to look very different. Like the portable and the Pro are going to look very different than what we know the Switch today.
Okay.
Isn't that weird? I think it's a good thing. It's easier to sell that way, but I still think it's weird. Because it's going to be like 3 completely different systems. Not like related systems. 3 completely different. They look completely different.
Yeah.
Which is good, I guess. You don't have to worry about all these podcasts and everything saying, it's confusing to consumers or anything like that. Every time Nintendo releases an iteration, every podcast I've ever listened to, like, how's grandma going to know? It's like, dude, it's not that big of a deal. Tell them to ask their grandma. If you're a grandma, ask your grandkid. Which one of these do you want? That's about how difficult of a question that is to answer.
My grandparents just give me a gift card.
Here's some cash. Go get what you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is very interesting. But here's ultimately what it comes down to is, do you think you would upgrade?
If they released me an Animal Crossing or an Animal Crossing one, I think I would have
That's
to.
not an if. We've covered this on every show. There will be a Link's Awakening Special Edition. There will be an Animal Crossing Special Edition. There will be a Pokemon Special Edition. And there might be an Animal Crossing and Pokemon Special Edition of both these consoles.
I'm not talking about Special Edition for... Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about Link's Awakening Special Edition was going to be like...
I don't know. I'm just telling you that Nintendo's way too smart for this. They're going to do this. We're definitely getting gold or green Joy-Cons. For sure. That's happening. That's the low hanging fruit. They may do a whole new molding case for Zelda, but the very least, the bottom tier, we're getting gold Joy-Cons. That's happening. Book it. With a little Triforce symbol on it. For sure.
I still remember that video where Reggie comes out and he's like, and then look at this. This is the special Master Edition. And he pulls out the Master Sword and the plaque with the Silent Princess flowers.
And you texted Micah immediately, didn't you?
Oh, I started tearing up. I was like, how much is it? How much is it? And he's like, these are extremely rare and extremely limited in number. And I'm like, no, I gotta have it right now. To answer the question, though, I think I would probably go the pro route. I think I would definitely go the pro route just based on how I'm starting to stream. And I like my portable. I like being able to move that around the house. But in terms of getting better gameplay, I definitely want to have something more reliable, something quicker, something that looks better. I think for portable, that's where your pretty nice version exclusive, not version exclusives, but
customized themes. Yeah.
So like a Hylian Shield 2DS.
It's easy to do because you just print the case, you snap it on, you're ready to go. I'm with you.
Easy, fast, cheap.
I'm with you.
And I think people would buy them if they're cheaper. They'd be more willing to buy them as collector's items.
Yep. And they'll buy multiples. They'll buy their family some. They'll buy their kids some. No, I'm with you.
Yep.
All right. So I'm all for getting the Switch more power as possible. But here's my issue. Having learned what I learned about the X2, and assuming that's probably the best case scenario out of this little story, I don't think I could justify spending $400 on a console that just lowers my load times in half and maybe up boosts the resolution a little bit. That doesn't seem like a big enough jump. I want the Switch to run games it currently can't. I want to put it on par with current gen, not X, but the low end of PlayStation. I want to make ports possible. Let's put it that way. I want 720 ports of Destiny and Anthem. I want that to be possible. It doesn't have to be great, but I would like the game to exist.
Right.
And right now, I just don't think it exists because the Switch, quite frankly, just isn't capable. And I don't think the X2 puts it in that realm. So I think streaming's the answer. And if that's the case, unless they come out telling us that the wireless is much faster or something, I need a tangible, significant improvement. And even then, $400 sounds like a lot. So knowing that, plus I got this sweet Pokemon theme in my backplate and all that, I don't think I could do it. So if you're asking me,
yeah, you did just buy another one.
Based on what we know today, I don't think I could do it.
I'm not saying it's a day one purchase for me.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. But I want to believe in it. I would love for them to come tell us that everything runs 1080p and, it's got I would imagine it doesn't have as big a bezel. Maybe it's thinner. Maybe it's more like an iPad or something like that. They could go a lot of different ways for it. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see both of them, to be honest. I want to see what they look like. But yeah, until... And I got really excited about the power model because I was thinking, man, maybe this will get games, but I still don't think Nintendo's going to go down the rabbit hole where one of the units has games the other ones don't have. So I'm kind of still in that realm where it can't run the ports of the games I want, so I might as well just play it on the Switch I have. I'll just wait a little longer.
This might open a door, though, if it can run on them. Some game developers might say, well, we should put our game on this one because the Pro can run it at least.
Do you think Nintendo wants that to happen? They did it with 3DS and it did not go well. That backfired bad. Oh, yeah, they dropped that like a bad habit. They were like, what? Yeah. What are you talking about? We never said that. They got out of that quick.
I know. There were like 2 games maybe.
That lasted all of like 8 weeks. They're like, never said that. It was Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors,
Xenoblade.
Xenoblade remake, and then I think Fire Emblem Warriors was also...
Yes, the Fire Emblem Warriors does have like new 3DS things, yeah. And then if you remember, the SNES games could only run on the new one. They could only run on the new one. The old ones they couldn't do it. Super Mario World, too OP for original 3DS. Had new ones only.
Are you serious?
So I don't think they want to go down that again. Anything else?
No, I think this
It'll be fun.
Exciting. I think we're definitely going to hear about it at E3 for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they said, and the Eurogame report said they want to get them out this year, which makes, so the logical business case that I could give you is they realize that their little tablet that cannot compete with next gen, like what's coming. So what do? You get it out and you sell as many of them as you can before next gen comes.
Sure.
I think if you're asking me what's the logical, like why aren't they waiting to see what the competition is doing? I think they know what the competition is doing.
I'm sure they do.
So they know they can't do better. But right now, from this E3 to next E3, they have a year to sell where no other console's coming. Because I don't think the X or the PlayStation is coming.
PlayStation isn't coming.
Yeah, it's not coming next year. So they've got a year. So you push the Pro, you push the Portable, and you get as many as you can. Maybe they get to 50 million. Like, you get as many of them out there as you can, and you start making games. You start cranking out games before the next gen arrives, and then I don't know. I don't know what they do next. Like, I don't think anybody does, but they're going to have to recalibrate. Eventually, this power difference is going so far. Eventually, Nintendo's going to have to pick a side. Like, they're either going to say they're in the home console business and they keep trying to get home console games, or they're just going to have to kind of separate completely and say, we're kind of more mobile. Like we do Nintendo and mobile and indie games, which is kind of what the Switch is doing, but they're close enough that they still get the, they still get that port.
Yep.
Every now and again. So, interesting stuff. Interesting times we are in. Speaking of ports that the Switch is getting, Wolfenstein Youngblood, which we've known. I believe when they announced this, they said it was coming, but it's coming to Switch July 6th for $30.
26th.
That's right. Didn't expect it for $30 at all. When they showed this game the last time, I thought it was a full game. $30. It's $30 across everything. It's coming day and date with all the other platforms. That's really cool. I'm going to buy it on X, but it's still really cool.
This is the one about the girls, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. It's BJ Blazkowicz's daughters or adopted daughters, and they're trying to, he's went missing, and it looks really cool. Looks really cool. We didn't see what it looks like on Switch. I'm sure they don't want to show us because that's not going to sell games a lot. Panic Button is doing the port, so I'm sure as they've done with everything else, they will do as best they can. They will try to make this thing run as best it can. I'm way more excited. This came out last week. Castle Crashers Remastered. It's coming to Switch this summer.
Yeah, everybody I know plays this game. I guess I should play
Castle Crashers is one of my favorite games. One of the most influential games, one of my most fond games. I have nostalgia, and when you say Castle Crashers, it takes me right back to high school when I stayed up all night long playing Xbox Live with my friends, and we played this game together.
This is definitely a Brian game.
This is definitely a game that you are going to play with me. You're going to buy Castle Crashers Remastered. Okay. We're going to play Shaq Drunk Night. We are playing Castle Crashers, damn it. It's such a great game. It's like beat 'em up.
Oh, I know what it is. I've seen it.
Like Ren and Stimpy humor. Oh, it's so good. It's so much fun. It's a great game. If you've never played it, must have game. Okay. The last news story, which really isn't a news story, I just wanted to kind of run down everything that's coming out in April. Because, was it 6 weeks ago after that big direct when we got Box Boy and everything? I was like, man, we're going to be kind of here in a lull. Nope. April's packed full. There's a lot to play in April if you want it.
Just indies-wise, we are getting a ton.
Tons. Final Fantasy VII is out. So that dropped. It's out now. You can play it.
Yep.
Did you see the stories? I saw tweets. I don't know anything about it, but it apparently has a a bug in it that was patched out years ago on other systems, but somehow made its way to Switch. So
that's awesome.
That's weird.
Speedrunners love that crap.
Yoshi's Friday. So, yep, by the time you're listening to this, Yoshi's out. And then sometime in April, reminder, if you've forgotten already, which I can't blame you if you did, Joker's arriving to Smash Bros. Ultimate. He's on the way with his stage and his music and the 3.0 update. Do you think they announce another fighter when he comes, or do you just think they go quiet until E3?
They have to.
I don't think they have to.
No, like not even Smash was announced, or Smash was coming out the next day, and the Game Awards that night before teased Joker. The game hadn't even come out yet, so
That's true.
I think they have to be like, "Hey,
Here
Joker's
it is,
out
and then here's who's
now.
coming.
Here's the next person, and by the way, Persona 5 is getting ported to Switch. Please, let's just go ahead and do it. Let's do
I'm
it."
gonna be so excited if Persona 5 comes to Switch. I want to believe in it so much. You know that. Like I'm monitoring all kinds of social media.
would
I've
they
got all
put
kinds of
him in
alerts set
there?
up. I want it to happen so bad.
You don't put Joker in there without throwing Nintendo a bone and giving them your game.
I don't know. I mean, none of the mainline Persona games have hit Nintendo stuff, right? They never got Persona 3 or Persona 4, Persona 4 Ultimate. Like, it's never happened.
I get the Q games on 3DS,
Yeah, but
that's
those,
not it.
that's not the same. Those aren't as good. Sorry, Q games, just not as good. I played Persona 3. I played Persona 4, and then Persona Q came to 3DS. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this. No, it was a bad idea. This game sucks.
I do want to get Q and Q2 for 3DS, though.
All right, Darksiders War Master comes out April 2nd. Now, Darksiders is cool. I really like Darksiders, especially the old ones. Didn't like the new one as much. It's okay. Didn't like it as much. Darksiders War Mastered is good. It's $30, which is a lot. Because this game is readily available on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, basically anywhere you can. Wii U. You can play this game on Wii U for like $5. So wait for a sale. But it is fun. If you like action, if you like the action explorative natures of Zelda, Darksiders got a lot of it for you. So that's good stuff. April 9th, the Phoenix Wright Trilogy Remastered comes.
I think I'm getting this one.
That's 3 games for $30.
I know. I haven't played a Phoenix Wright game since the DS.
I told you I only played the demo.
For a long time.
I've never played them. I think Melissa would really like them.
Oh, she would love them. It's not court, like it's fantasized court.
Right.
Nothing is legit.
Yeah, we played the demo. So like I think we get the hook, but I've just never played them, to be honest with you. And this might be a really good introduction.
I think she'd like them. I liked the second game for sure for the DS. So if this is the first 3 for the DS, yes, absolutely. I'm probably going to get it because Brian hasn't been into them, so Melissa needs to get into them too.
I was thinking at the end we would talk about which ones we're actually going to get, but I guess we can do this. I think I'm going to wait on this one, either on sale or like Black Friday. Because I don't think I'm going to like get it immediately. But I think
I won't either. But
3 games remastered, like Capcom's been on a roll of late. 3 games remastered for $30. If I can get that Black Friday for like $20, if it goes on a digital sale at $15, like it seems like such an easy get just to try. To try. Like if you're like me and you've never played it, what a great time to try and play it.
Right, it is good stuff. The characters are funny.
People do love it. Now I am excited about this. This is another one of those news stories we need to talk about. The Labo VR kit comes out April 12th. The $40 base kit, the $80 total kit, which is the one that I got. All right, so they had a hands-on event for this, and everybody that played it says it's really good. I was actually really excited.
I kept reading all of the stuff that people were saying that
it's fun.
The gust of wind at your feet is a game changer. Like, just the fact that that's there makes it seem so much more realistic. My favorite is definitely going to be Bird and having your bird farm of all the little... You raise your little hatchlings and you collect all of the bird colors. That's me. And what was the other one that was... dang it, I can't remember.
They did that software trailer where they walk you through everything that's in it, and then all the people that played it, like I know I shared tons of them on our Discord. It's really good. The elephant
3D painting sold, done.
That's like Dreams. I'm not sure how much you've ever followed, but like
I know exactly what you're talking
about.
Yeah. I've got to get the full pack, but I'm
getting it.
I'm waiting on everything else to like they're coming down in price. I'm glad.
Yeah, but not these. These are going to hold for a minute because I think they're going to sell pretty decently.
But I mean, even the vehicle kit that came out late last year is on the route to being like $30.
Yeah.
So, I'm just going to wait.
I'm really excited. I'm getting this one like day and date. So like the week that this comes out, you're going to get Shaq impressions from me because I'm kind of excited about it.
I'm jealous.
I think the gimmick of VR is cool, and the price is super cheap to try something like this. But the gameplay elements are what I'm more excited about. Like that whole Splatoon looking shooter thing looked great. I was like, that looks awesome. That's the best video game I've seen Labo have.
Here's the thing with me though in VR. VR makes me sick.
Yep.
We talked about like we were talking on our Shack night, like on Friday night when we were playing Breath of the Wild. I can't do roller coasters anymore, and I'm not very good with like motion things. So VR, I'm not sure how much I'm going to actually be playing it like that. I might just, I don't know if there's going to be a mode where you can just pop it in the TV and then use the accessory outside. I don't know how that can work, but it's just going to make me sick to do it for too long.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotta get all those birdies, though.
I'm wondering if it'll be any better because you're like holding it, because you're not like stationary and moving. Because it's going to be all like gyro based, right? So you're going to be moving with it.
Well, Brian's like, holding your arms up like that for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
It can get tiring.
Oh, yeah.
So.
It's not going to be like, I don't expect it to be like super great. Oh, Roman says that he doesn't think Phoenix Wright's getting a physical release in the US, but the Japanese cart has the English language option.
Well, I'll be danged. I didn't realize that I was just talking about the download. Japan's always getting the physical fun stuff.
That's true. They do get all the physicals. I mean, I was just going to wait for a sale on it either way. Digital, physical, I don't care. But if I'm going to try it, I want to try it, but I've got a lot to play, so I'm happy to wait. And if I'm going to wait, then I want it on a cheaper sale than 30. I'm not saying it's not worth it. Just saying I want to wait. April 16th, My Time at Portia comes. The Harvest Moon life sim game. We farm and do relationship stuff.
That's right. I forgot. I thought it was Portia.
Is it?
Portia?
I think it's Portia.
Okay.
It might be Portia.
Like Portia.
I've seen it. I've seen him play. I've seen like gameplay. I don't know. I don't know why I think that, but I think that.
I forgot about that game coming out.
I think Lucas is playing it.
Okay. Might have to pick it up.
It looks cute. I think you'd like it. I mean, this definitely like when I watched it, it was like a Carol game.
Yeah, it is kind of Carol game.
Notice how many like really good budget games April has. I know it's a lot of ports of games, but you notice it's not $60, $60, $60, $30, $40, $30, $15. It's great.
Yep.
Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2 remasters come for $50.
That's worth it for both of those games.
Yeah, it's $25.
$25 each. X2 is great.
Katana Zero, the indie darling that we saw from the last one, comes April 18th for $15.
Jason game.
Hashtag Jason game. April 18th, Cuphead arrives on Nintendo Switch for $20.
$20 buckaroos. I'm getting the physical, so I'm going to hold out.
And all those load times.
Whatever, dude. I think the load times would be less.
They're really bad.
You're doing a cart. If you're doing a cart, though, it would be less.
I don't think so.
Okay.
We'll see. I don't think so.
Stardew Valley had terrible load times when it came to Switch. We're talking 30 seconds between. Luckily,
I think Cuphead's going to be worse.
They did a patch later that remedied some of that, so maybe we can get some. I'm throwing the hints out there, guys.
To say the really nice things about Cuphead, it looks really great on the Switch version. The Switch version really doesn't look like it's lost a whole lot from the Xbox version, so maybe the load times are worth it.
Yeah.
Interesting but cool. If you didn't know, Dragon's Dogma Remastered: The Dark and Arisen is coming. That's the Skyrim-like Dragon Hunter fantasy game for $30. That's a whole lot of game for $30. I remember that being a huge deal like last gen. So if you're into that, but if you're into that and you want something like that, it's cool. Yeah, it's coming. April 23rd, Mortal Kombat comes to Switch for $60. Mortal Kombat 11, right? Yep. 11? Yep.
Mortal Kombat, yep.
Interesting thing, the only thing I have to say about this, I think it's cool that it's coming. The trailer that PlayStation showed looked awesome. Everything that's been shown looks great. I have plenty of enough fighters, so I'm not planning on getting this. But here's the thing. This thing is 3 weeks away. I have not seen what it looks like on Switch at all. There is no gameplay footage or trailer for Nintendo Switch. Which makes me a little concerned. Just kind of like Wolfenstein, there's probably a reason. Probably because it doesn't look so great. So, we'll see. But it's on the way. If you're really excited about it, you got it. It's on the way. Hashtag Donna Game. April 26th, Box Boy and Box Hero comes. Still don't have a price on this. Still can't pre-purchase this. I can't pre-purchase this.
Really?
I can't pre-purchase Mario Maker 2. I don't know what's going on.
$10 tops.
No, I can't. They're going to try to sell this. I'm thinking $24.99 is what they're going to try to pop out at. I don't know. I'm just scared. You know why? Because they keep talking about how much is in it. That's the thing that they keep, every time it's shown or talked about, more levels than ever before. Like, it feels like they're trying to sell the game.
$14.99.
That's the most I want to pay for it. Because, they're all like, this is 270 levels. And I looked it up because like Box Boy 2 had like 205. They weren't it wasn't that much less.
Black on white. I mean, it's not a big deal. So
I love it. I want it anyway. I'll probably I'll get it whatever they pay for it. But I'm bracing myself for a price that might bring a little sticker shock. Because like, why wouldn't they put it up? Why is it on pre-sale? I can buy Crash Team Racing right now. It doesn't come out until June, but I can't buy Box Boy? Like, what's the deal?
Maybe there's some tie-ups with Japan.
Maybe so.
Used to be Box Boy used to be Japanese exclusive until it came to have all of the Box Boy games come here. Yeah. There was a Box Boy game that... I'm just thinking of the Amiibo. The
Amiibo never came here.
Okay.
You had to import it. But yeah, all the Box Boy games are out. They're great. I love them. Shaq listeners have heard me say too much about Box Boy, but really great game. I really wanted them to keep to the $4.99 price point. I really do. I get that it's a lot to ask, but I mean, I just thought it was like the greatest value in games. Like that was the best thing that had going about it.
It's going from 3DS to Switch, so there's Switch tax.
If it goes over $20, I'm going to buy it anyway, but I'm going to say I'm going to whine about it. I'm going to say angry things about it.
I'd be shocked if it goes to $15. I say $10, but
I would happily pay $12.99 for Box Boy and Box Girl, especially if it had like Amiibo support.
Yeah, Amiibo support for the one Amiibo that hasn't come out to the United States.
Well, it would be cool if they had like Amiibo costumes for other characters.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, that would be really. I've always wanted that. Yeah. I've always thought that would be really cool. Plus, it's co-op. Split the Joy-Cons, have fun. So I'm still looking forward to it, but I'm a little concerned. Can't buy it yet. I don't know why. It's bothering me. And then lastly, 4:30, Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age arrives for $50. This is the first time I believe that Final Fantasy XII: The Zodiac Age has ever been on a portable machine. And then it's fully remastered, updated textures, updated music, all stuff. So
I'd hope so. I
make a lot of fun of Final Fantasy, and the only reason I do that, Final Fantasy fans, is because I'm just not in your club. I've never got into it, and I've never I tried playing. I want to say Final Fantasy X, and I just can't get into it. I don't know what I'm doing. If I ever was to try another one, I think Final Fantasy XII might be the one that I try. I won't try it at $50, but there's something intriguing to me about it. That's the one like in the clouds, right?
I don't know. I stopped playing them around 7. I think
that's the one that's like on the Zeppelins and stuff, and it looks good. It's modern. I think that has a lot to do with it, that I've tried to play the other ones, but they're all so retro that, I can't stoop down to that level.
If you could deal with the difficulty level, I would say you definitely need to go play like the NES and Super Nintendo Final Fantasies.
You said NES, and I just, no. I ruled you out instantly. I'm not doing that.
Stuff.
No. To you. To somebody who played it in its day and is nostalgic for it. But if you have no ties to that at all and you've never seen it before, that's the one you want me to play? The one that looks and plays like that. Versus 12 that looks and plays like every other game that I play. Like 12 reminds me most... So I've only seen like the trailers and stuff, but 12 reminds me most of like Xenoblade. Like I don't feel like it's like that big of a difference. So like there's some alert for me there. I'm like, maybe that's the one that gets me. But I give Jacob and the Nintendo Nostalgia guys a hard time about their Final Fantasy thing. And I give, and everybody's posting screenshots of Final Fantasy 7 on Switch. I don't know what it is about 7, man. Everybody loves 7. It's like Marsha, man. It's Final Fantasy 7.
The story is just really good.
It can't be that good. Like I see it, I look at it, I've seen people play it. Like it's
movie off of
everybody's so excited about it. Well, I mean, come on, Final Fantasy 15 had a movie. Like they did a whole animated short about it too.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. Like, if you pre-ordered the game, you got it and all that, yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's definitely something there, right? I mean, Final Fantasy has got to be, like, one of the biggest franchises in all video games. Like, you slap Final Fantasy on the back of anything and it sells.
It's pretty big in Japan.
Big deal. Big deal. I would love to get into one. I really would. But, like, the old stuff, I can't. And I just can't. I have no patience for that. Like, I need a modern take on it. And I tried 15 and was not having fun. 15 was not good for me. So, I don't know. Maybe 12, probably not. In all seriousness, probably not. Probably not going to spend money on that.
I just think that you're a lost cause in so many regards for games.
Hey, I am who I am. That's why they call me the Sailor Man. Like, I can't be anything other than me. That's all I can bring to the microphone. How I feel. But I'm happy for all of you. I mean, there's a lot of people that are so excited. I do enjoy that part, because our Shack feed, I follow all kinds of Nintendo fans. Basically, if you ever tweet at Shack Life, I follow you. My Twitter feed is full of folks that are so excited to be playing Final Fantasy games on a Nintendo console. Like, it means a lot to them.
I plan on getting them. Like, I haven't.
It's interesting because as somebody who came into Nintendo around the N64 era, and I've owned every one since then, it's like a non-factor for me. I'm like, why is everybody playing the PlayStation game? But all these Nintendo fans, it's like they really wanted to play Final Fantasy this whole time.
Yeah.
You know what you should be doing? Playing Fire Emblem. That's what you should be doing. Quit this mess. Go play Fire Emblem. Right? That's what I would tell Jacob Rush. Quit messing with Final Fantasy 9. Go play Fire Emblem Fates.
July.
Go prepare for Fire Emblem Three Houses. Yes. Prepare yourself. It's on the way. It's happening. Fire Emblem
Hogwarts Edition.
I'm still not super excited about this. I feel like there's going to be a day here soon where Fire Emblem Three Houses comes out and the reviews are really bad, and I question whether or not I even want to get it. I'm like, oh no.
I have Seasons of Warfare on pre-order, and I am excited.
I'm with you, but like, there's just nothing I've seen in the game. I'm not excited. I'm not. Like, I'm reluctantly buying the game because of the amount that I've enjoyed the series. There's nothing about this edition that I'm like, oh man, I can't wait. I have none of that. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be bad. It's like I'm slowly approaching a car wreck.
You're doubting Thomas.
I am. I'm very reluctant. I'm hesitant. You have a little faith right now with the Fire
Doubting Dommy.
You're just totally on board. You're just on board, like.
When am I never on board?
Well, that's true. I get that part.
I'm on board about an indie Zelda.
You realize that you don't have to be on board to be a fan, though. Like, you can still keep your fandom and be critical. It's possible.
Yeah, I guess I just like to please people.
The Fire Emblem.
I'll play your game.
But you like the Harry Potter stuff too, so like you're excited probably about that stuff.
I don't see a Harry Potter vibe to it though. I really don't. But okay.
So you're still excited to do, like, you're going to teach all the kids and all that, like you're into that. That is cool for you.
I get police vibes. Don't stand so close to me. It's going to be some good stuff.
Now,
please tell me what you know what I'm talking about.
I do. If the writing was really good, I was going to go like Hot for Teacher, Van Halen types.
Yes.
If the writing is really good and it's like kind of funny on like the play on like school children and stuff, like if it goes like that Persona way, I'd be really excited. I would be really excited. I'd be like, this is amazing. I just don't know. I didn't. Me
that main male character, you will not get with Edelgard.
I cannot confirm or deny from this point. We'll see. We'll find out.
It's gonna happen.
We'll find out.
I'd do it.
If I don't get caught smoking in the boys' bathroom, I'm going to be upset. Like if we're going to go way down on this and it's going to be like this whole Academy thing, then I need to play up on all the tropes of that. Like, that's what Persona does that really, really well. That's actually probably my favorite part about the series. So if they go down that path, that would get me excited. But from what we've seen of it, we just don't know.
Yeah.
Caroline, that's it. That's it for Shack this week. I'm going to thank our lovely patrons that support the show. But before I do you have anything else you'd like to say or plug?
Nope. I will be playing Yoshi in about less than 48 hours.
Playing the Yoshi.
Us recording.
Playing the Yoshi. It's going to be so good. It looks so beautiful.
Yep.
It's so pretty.
Can't wait.
It's so pretty. All right, but before we sign off, we have to thank the people that make us go. So thank you, Coach Hulk. Thank you, Callow. Thanks, Dev, Kev. Thank you, Chris McElfresh, Kyle, Professor Switch, Bonesaw, Barry Cathcart, and Paul Calicote. Thank you so much for supporting us and everything that we do. Remember, you can check us out at psvg.blog and at ShackLife. And if you want to come hang out in the Discord, psvg.blog/discord, where we launched our new Stadia show. I'm excited. Google Stadia. Streaming. The future, Caroline. Streaming is the future. No more physical games.
I'll fight you. I'll fight you. F-I-T-E, fight.
Like I said, primer for next week. Seth's coming back. We will continue our return to Hyrule updates. And hopefully I'm going to get in a lot of time this weekend, so I'll have more to say. Well,
yeah.
With that ends our show for the night. For the week, good night, Koopalings.
Bye.
Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.